That was First Half Moments brought to you by Head & Shoulders. And so that's where we stand with a 13-7 Eagles lead at the break. John Lynch is here, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. And so, the Eagles moved the ball. They could have had more points, but they capitalized on a drive at the end. And I think we're seeing with Washington, they've lost 2 in a row, and this defense is holding them back a little.
Yeah, and it's going to, unless they fix it. And it's effort, but it's more so the details of things. And you go back to the start of this game. Doug Peterson called out his guys. He wanted more collective effort. He's getting it. Jay Gruden, he wanted more urgency. They better start getting some urgency, or they're going to let this one slip away.
Yeah, they've got to have it. They're right now on the outside of the playoff picture, looking in 7th place, right there behind Tampa Bay and Atlanta, but they need this. Down on the sidelines with Pam Oliver.
Hey, Kevin, I talked to Doug Peterson about Carson Wentz and the game he's having so far. He says he's liking the poise that he's seeing from the kid, the leadership, the vision down the field. He wants to see that going. That said, he also wants to see more of the run game, but they will have to do that without Wendell Smallwood, who will not return because of injury. Jay Gruden, meantime, he said that we got to wrap the kid up. That's the only thing we can do at this point. We need to get the ball going as well. He also mentioned if we do what we need to do, we can get the heck out of here. Back to you.
Jay Gruden doesn't mince words, and he's right. They have had pressure on Wentz, but Wentz has escaped. So now here comes Kirk Cousins' company. Deshaun Jackson makes his first catch, looking to make a move. Not much, as the Eagles played it well. And Washington, this reminds me of the Atlanta game, John. The Eagles have had the ball. They've run so many more plays than Washington. This offense hasn't been out there.
Yeah, and that's a problem when you have an offense as potent as this offense. And again, it goes back to third down, Kevin. This defense for the Washington Redskins struggles so much to get off the field on third down. That keeps this potent offense on the sideline.
That is the story. The Eagles are 6 of 9 on third down today, including couple of 3rd and long. But now it's the Redskins offense with a turn. Chris Thompson in the backfield, and he'll get it. And Thompson wiggles his way through up to the 30 for Benny Logan, brought him down. And Thompson's going to pick up 4 on the carry. 3rd down and 5 coming. You look at some of the numbers from the first half. Wentz played very well in that first half. Led the Eagles to 214 yards. Did throw an interception in the end zone. Washington moved the ball. They ran, 15 less plays than the Eagles in the first half. Pretty simple. Call this a 3rd down and 6 officially. Cousins in trouble, and down he goes. Kirk Cousins sacked again by Fletcher Cox. He went 8 games without a sack, and he's got 2 today.
Really nice job by Jim Schwartz helping Fletcher Cox, bringing some pressure. That gets a one-on-one for Fletcher Cox, and he just walks all the way to Kirk Cousins for the sack. Kevin, as you said it, they sorely needed some sacks. It had kind of just gone dry here. Only 1 in the last 3 weeks. Fletcher Cox with 2 on the day.
And so a punt by Way, and a good one. Sproles looking for a return. A little stutter, makes a man miss. Darren Sproles. We've seen this before. There's a flag, though. Sproles all the way, but let's see about the flag. This could be coming back.
Kev, so interesting. We asked Jay Gruden kind of for a hidden matchup. He said, look, we got to stop their special teams. More touchdowns since 2013 than any other special teams unit. Week 6, Wendell Smallwood took back a kickoff return.
During the return of the kick, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 86. 10-yard penalty and a 1st down.
There's Zach Ertz. Not a lot of contact, but enough.
Well, instead of a touchdown, it'll at least be the Eagles' ball. That hurts. Instead of a 72-yard touchdown return by Darren Sproles, here's the penalty on Ertz.
And look, it's not a ton of contact, but Mike Pereira, we're talking to him during break, right at the point of attack. You almost have to call it. Just not smart by Zach Ertz. Get the heck out if the guy's got you beat.
And you said it too. The optics look bad right in front of the official. It's hard not to call that. So Eagles do have the football, but they back it up all on their 23. Certainly a little change of events as Matthews, good cut. Ryan Matthews out to the 41. And he's got a pickup of 18.
That's just really good blocking up front. 3 tight ends. They're just going to all come. Ryan Matthews gets behind him. The old zone run and stretch. And when you see the hole, put your foot in the ground, get downhill. That's really nice by this Philly offense.
And so they'll stay with the 3 tight end formation. 1 wide out on the play. From the 41, they'll run it. Matthews, jump cut, nowhere to go. That was just blown up at the point of attack. Ziggy Hood made the play.
Ziggy Hood, really good addition this offseason, a free agent from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's playing that nose, really not his home. He's really a defensive end. Kedrick Golston goes down early in the year, and he's filled in admirably. Great effort by Ziggy Hood.
So you heard Pam with the injury to Smallwood, who's out. Ryan Matthews and Sproles will be the running back. Matthews 9 carries, 35 yards so far today, coming back after missing 2 games with a knee injury. Wentz over the middle. There's Zach Ertz, makes the catch, tries to turn it upfield, but tackled right away. So a 3rd down and about 5 coming your way after an 8-yard gain. And Will Compton is the man down for Washington.
Will Compton, last time we did a game, we broadcasted between these guys. He went down in week 6 as well.
Well, 10 to Will Compton. Eagles 13-7 in the 3rd. Just now, Will Compton gets up and walks off under his own power. He was down for a while. Tried to get up initially and then kind of caved back down to the ground. Don't really know. You see anything there, John?
No, I don't. There's nothing glaringly that just stands out in terms of what he did. But, you know, Sua Cravens is out now with the torn bicep. And now you got Will Compton. So 2 of their starting linebackers who play a lot are out. Here comes Martell Spate in for Will Compton.
Yeah, we haven't seen Cravens since the first half. We're just told the bicep injury, and he's out for the game. 3rd down and 5 for Philadelphia. Wentz in trouble. Pressure comes. Still on his feet, and now down he goes. Redskins got pressure from all angles there. Chris Baker was the first, but he had help.
Look at this. Is Mason Foster, the first guy there. It's like an old pick and roll in basketball. He's going to pick, but then he runs right to the quarterback. That slows down Carson Wentz. And Chris Baker comes in to finish him.
So think about how this started. It was a punt return by Darren Sproles for a touchdown, but then the penalty on Ertz brought it back, and now they go backwards in the sack and they're punting it away. That's what happens when you're a team that's lost 3 in a row. Those things add up. And here comes a punt from Donnie Jones. It's a good one. Crowder, who's excellent at the punt return, best in the league average-wise. The Eagles contain him. And the Redskins will take over down 6. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes NFL players who have made a significant impact on both the game and in their communities. Each NFL team nominates 1 player for the award. 3 finalists will be announced January 22nd, with the winner being announced at the NFL Honors Award Show. That's February 4th on Fox. This year's nominee for the Redskins, Pierre Garçon, and for the Eagles, it's John Dornbos. Learn more about all of this year's nominees. Visit NFL.com/Man of the Year to look at the work that these 2 fine men do. That's just great. So that's about as good an award as you could win. So here come the Redskins. Need this today. Down by 6 in this 3rd quarter. They'll run it with Rob Kelly, and he gets gang tackled after a gain of 1.
Kevin, I just want to add to that. You know, this year I was honored to be put on the committee that got it down to the final 3. So last week I had an opportunity to read all 32 of these NFL Men of the Year. Incredible what these guys are doing in the community. Hats off to guys like Dornbos, Pierre Garçon, who does so much in his native Haiti. Guys around this league are doing great things. We don't talk about it enough.
That's great stuff. 2nd down. 4-man rush. Cousins all kinds of time. Going to sling it deep. Deshaun Jackson turns around. Willie Mays tight catch. And Deshaun Jackson. Touchdown.
This crowd silenced. And Deshaun Jackson, he's the one that got away here in Philly. A lot of talk that he may be back. And if there was any question if this guy can still go, just watch the last 2 weeks. A 59-yarder last week, and we just saw that. Ladies and gentlemen, he can still go, and Kirk Cousins can put it out there to him.
That ball was a little underthrown. Man, he stayed with it, turned around. That was incredible.
So interesting you say Willie Mays. Remember, we're talking to him earlier. He used to be a center fielder, a darn good one.
Yes, he did. He looked like it. That looked every bit like a center fielder on that catch. Deshaun Jackson, another big play, 80-yard touchdown, and the extra point is good. And just like that, the Redskins come to life with the bomb to D-Jax against his former team. Man, that was something. 80 yards. Washington in front. That's a pretty great catch. Delaware State Championship game, and we had a better one here moments ago. Deshaun Jackson, watch the concentration.
Look at his eyes track, Kevin, all the way over. And, you know, we've talked, there was a production meeting earlier this year. I think it's Long Beach Poly High School. He was a coveted baseball player, really played a great center field. You could see that experience right there.
Michael Tatamir with a great shot on camera. This is Paul Turner, who gets smoked before the 20-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will take over. Martrell Spate. One note on Jackson. We know his big playability, but here's a nugget. That's his 22nd touchdown, over 60 yards in his career. Only Jerry Rice has more with one more. 22 60-plus yard touchdowns for Jackson.
Remember long ago they said Jerry Rice couldn't run. That was a book on him coming into the league.
Well, they got that right, didn't they? And now injury. I can't see who is down for the Redskins. I think it's Mac Brown, backup running back, special teamer. Let's go down the sidelines with Pam.
Well, Kevin, Will Compton, he spent some extensive time, rather, on the trainer's table at one point, putting a towel over his face. Medical staff iced up his right knee. Compton is still on the sideline, but he is out with that knee injury. Back to you.
Pam, thanks. So a lot of injuries really piling up. Redskins they barely could practice this week. They had so many injuries.
Yeah, they had to go walkthroughs, as Pam said earlier, because they were so nicked. And you just can't I mean, this is just attrition, and it's a brutal cycle because a lot of these starters, all of a sudden, we just saw Spate now playing inside linebacker, running down on kickoff. It just really diminishes your ability with special teams as well. It affects everything.
And so Brown exits, and Washington has the lead with 9:08 to go in this third quarter. And now let's see what Carson Wentz and company have in store. With Sproles in the backfield, they started off from their own 18. Four-man rush over the middle. Zach Ertz. He's going to pick up about 4. Mason Foster is on the tackle. So Compton out. Soja Sua-Cravens with a bicep injury out. Washington already thin at that linebacker spot. And there you see Spates, Martrell Spates, second-year man from Arkansas, who has not played much this year. Does have 1 interception on the year, but that's about it.
Josh Norman's been really quiet, really been staying away from him, and it's a credit to Josh Norman. He is a game-changing player, and they've chosen, let's just stay away from the guy, and that's a good decision.
Second down. They'll run it with Sproles on across the 25. He had 3rd down and 2. Pam, you're busy with all these injuries. What do you got for us?
Well, Kevin, I just heard from the Eagles, and John Dornbos, he has a wrist injury. He is in right now getting x-rays, and his return is questionable. Back to you.
Just talked about Dornbos, the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee from the Eagles, and today tying Harold Carmichael, 162 consecutive games played that ties an Eagles record. This is their long snapper and a Pro Bowl long snapper. So 3rd down and 2. Blitz. Wentz steps away. Good play. It's Burton. Burton's been kind of his security blanket today. Out to the 34 for an Eagles first down.
This is brilliant by Carson Wentz, moving in the pocket. This is something that he had been struggling with prior to last week. But watch the little subtle slide, eyes downfield, finding Burton, a target that I continue to say he really likes. And you just see it. There's certain guys you have a connection with. Trey Burton and Carson Wentz have that connection. They know each other's thoughts. They know each other's body mannerisms, and it works.
Trey Burton had 3 receptions the last 2 years coming in. He's now got 25 receptions this year. He's getting better and better. This is Matthews. Busted out left side. Lot of room. Ryan Matthews into Washington territory before he's shoved out at the 45. It's a 21-yard run.
Well, you look at this. Somebody's got to put an edge on it. Somebody's got to contain it. This 3 tight end look has been very successful. Nothing but green grass for Ryan Matthews, and this Philadelphia offense continues to run extremely well, continues to show balance.
Matthews' numbers gaining steam. Fake to him here. Wentz going to come near side. There's his main man Burton, but that is not going to go very far because Bashaud Breeland was there on the stop after only picking up 1.
Good job by Bashaud Breeland. Oh, Coach Herm Edwards used to say, Lynchburg, keep your eyes on your luggage, and that means that's your man. The run goes away. If that's your man, keep your eyes on him, and Bashaud Breeland does a great job of it.
Interesting that the Eagles have used this 3 tight end look a lot. Now they bring in an extra lineman in Matt Tobin, number 64. And they still have 3 tight ends on the field, John. Just 1 wide receiver. It's Jordan Matthews. Wentz going far side. There is Jordan Matthews looking to break a tackle, and he can't go forward. Tried to get through the tackle of Breeland, but he got a little help from Mason Foster, and instead a 3rd down and short.
And actually, as I'm looking at it, Kevin, Alan Barber, the starting right tackle's out. So Matt Tobin, not an extra tackle, but he came in for Alan Barber.
So that technically would be what, the 4th right tackle of the year for the Eagles?
Lane Johnson, we need you back in a hurry.
Still serving out that 10-game suspension. Look at this. 3rd downs today. Again, it's been the Redskins defense bugaboo. They're worst in the league on this. 3rd and 2. Fake to Matthews. Wentz in trouble. Trying to spin away. Throws incomplete. Looking for Turner a little bit behind. He had to get it out of there in a hurry, and it'll be 4th down.
But that play right there, if you're looking to the future for the Philadelphia Eagles, that's got to make you feel good. The suddenness. He pulls the Elway spin, eludes the rush of Ricky Jean-Francois. That's a catchable ball. That should be caught by Paul Turner.
And the Eagles are going to go for it. Doug Peterson not shy on 4th down. They went for it. They were going to go for it twice already in this game, but once they call a timeout, another time a penalty, they'll try it again. 4th and 2. Blitz coming over the complete. Zach Ertz, 1st down, Philadelphia.
Kevin, Zach Ertz needs something to fire these fans up. We saw the block in the back on the punt return last week. There was a much talked about play where he didn't block someone, but the one thing this guy can do is get open and catch the football. He's done it now 8 times today. 8 receptions already for Zach Ertz.
Tight end's been a big factor in this one. Redskins last week allowed 10 of 16 on 3rd downs. Today they've been dreadful on 3rd, and that was a 4th. Couple of fakes. Wentz just going to shuttle it to Sproles. I think he knew that play was dead, and it's incomplete. Sproles got his bell rung a little bit on a blitz pickup.
Sproles not afraid to mix it up with the big guys, trying to protect his quarterback. I got to tell you, I think Doug Peterson, sometimes you question, should you call NFL players out? I think when it's warranted, you need to, and he did, and I see his team responding. The little things they're doing, it's a big reason they're in this game. He wanted more effort. He's getting more effort from his team.
That's interesting. He got roasted a little bit in this town for that response. But so far they're playing down, though, by 1 after the Deshaun Jackson touchdown. 2nd down. Wentz backpedaling, throws off his back foot. Incomplete. Penalty flies from the secondary. Let's see what this call is. Signals on Philadelphia.
Offensive PI, they're going to call Jordan Matthews.
Pass interference, offense number 81. 10-yard penalty and repeat, second down.
Here's the Jordan Matthews with the push-off right there to gain the separation. They get Jordan Matthews. Kevin, we were talking about Doug Peterson, and he got roasted a little for calling his team out. He's not only trying to win games, he's trying to change a culture here. He's trying to get something back they once had. And sometimes you got to do both things to change a culture. And he's finding who the guys that will fight, who he wants moving forward on his side. He's got a very good plan on what he wants this team to be about. And I applaud him for it.
2nd and 20. Only a 3-man rush. Wentz incomplete behind Zach Ertz. And so now a 3rd down and 20. I know Washington has been historically bad against 3rd and long, but you can't allow this if you want to win this game.
Yeah, what do you do in Washington? I mean, typically these are the situations you live for. It's almost like they're saying, let's not get in 3rd and long because we have not been good. But of course, there's Joe Barry. He's an excellent coach. He coached our group down in Tampa, the linebackers coach. He's had a lot of success in this league. This defense struggling, though, in this facet of the game, 3rd down, which is so critical.
3rd and 20. They'll just run it to Sproles, who makes a cut, and then another. And at the very least, gets him into field goal position. But now you heard Pam Oliver tell you that John Dornbos was hurting. Brent Selleck is the backup snapper. And I'm looking to see if Dornbos comes on the field. There's Selleck. I think he's snapping here. Let's find out. So this will be interesting. This is no gimme. With your Pro Bowl long snapper out, here comes Brent Selleck, who's been here for 10 years.
Didn't even have time to take his gloves off.
Holy, interesting. 50-yard field goal to boot. Snap a little low, and they've got a report, and now they're dead. Norman is there, and he gets help for the tackle. What a huge development with Dornbos out. The snap from Selleck was a little low. That's a hard spot, boy, to be in. Your long snapper's out.
You wonder why those long snappers get paid well.
Washington avoids a big one, and they're up by 1 with the ball. This happened just before that field goal attempt. John Dornbos, who's been here for such a long time, Pro Bowler 2 times, he just can't do it. His wrist, he's got a wrist injury, can't do it. Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee, and then this happened. Brent Selleck, who got some practice reps for a minute, goes out. We asked, we're not sure if he's ever done it. We're looking up, see if Selleck's ever done that, but that's obviously a problem. So the Eagles fail to score. Here come the Redskins, still in front, Rob Kelly, and he gets tackled 3, 4, 5 times and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
It was Brandon Graham who told us about the comparison between Marshawn Lynch, and I'm telling you, Kevin, not just the dreadlocks, the more I'm watching it, the more I'm becoming a believer. Brandon Graham, got to give him some credit. I think he's played outstanding this year, even better than his numbers. He's got 5 sacks, but his play has been awesome.
Cousins standing and firing. Jackson wide open. Did he stay in bounds with the feet? And he did. The initial signal was incomplete, but that's overruled. Let's watch.
What an outstanding job keeping the feet in, the concentration again.
Let's see if that right foot is in. I think he touched down. Let's watch. Right foot. See if it touches again.
Right there.
I think it did. Fans want a challenge. And there is a stoppage. There's a red flag. Doug Peterson will challenge this play. Right,
so right there, it's up, but then does it get in? The toe.
I think it's a good catch, John.
Yeah, I do too.
They ruled it a catch. Peterson has the challenge.
Philadelphia is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
See what New York says in a moment. It's interesting, John. We thought it was a catch at the end, but watch this. This is before the ball got there. His left heel, inconclusive from that angle. We looked. You can't really tell. I don't know if that left foot was in initially.
Yeah, but this is going to stay a catch.
I agree.
I just think there's not enough to overturn it. Ruled a catch on the field. Deshaun Jackson putting on a show here with circus catches.
Here's Tony Correnti.
After review, the ruling on the field of a completed pass will stand. Philadelphia will be charged with their first timeout. That
is a great catch by Jack. I think worth the challenge for Peterson, but That is a catch, and another big play by Deshaun Jackson. Isn't it ironic? All rumors this week about Jackson coming back to Philadelphia next year because he's a free agent. Now he's, of course, putting on a show against his former team.
Well, let's call it a job interview. And he's acing it.
Maurice Harris checks into the game for Washington, number 13. Rookie has played some. And after the catch to Jackson, it's a first down from the Eagles, 33. Fake to Kelly. Pressure. Cousins going to dump it off. Kelly wide open. Makes a cut. And the spin inside the 20.
Look at Fletcher Cox bust through here. I'm sure the Eagles are wanting to hold. Watch Brandon Scherf right there's got a hold of Fletcher Cox. He's just short of Kirk Cousins. But Cousins does a great job with big Fletcher Cox bearing down on him, keeping his eyes downfield. All right, Quanjo getting his opportunity and mixing it up. Jay Gruden, we asked him about Quanjo. He said he's a mauler.
He likes it in there. 14 yards on the completion. Redskins trying to add to their lead. Give it to Kelly again. Gets a couple great blocks around the edge. Kelly inside the 10. Game break with all.
Matt Barkley, everybody thought kid doesn't have it. Last 3 weeks he's been really good.
He has been really good. And the Lions, you know, they're sneaky. They could sneak into a first-round bye here. This is where Washington has had trouble. Don't ask why. They got the second best offense in the league, but they've been terrible in the red zone. First and goal. They'll run it here. Kelly gets nothing. Vinny Curry was there first. So, John, how do you explain a team that is this good offensively that simply can't punch it in?
I struggle to, frankly, because they're a great offensive line. I think behind Dallas you could make a case this is maybe next in that second tier, so they can run it now with Rob Kelly. You got guys like Jordan Reed. I really do. I think Kirk Cousins is a very conscientious guy. He likes being perfect. He threw a couple picks down here early. I think it's got him a little gun shy. You got to let it go in the red zone to be successful.
Second and goal. That won't help movement on Moses, the right tackle. And there's some explanation of how it fails in the red zone.
All start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Look at that stance by Brandon Graham. That just looks good. And when you play really well, when you put good film, guys like Morgan Moses, they want to get the heck out of there to block you. Brandon Graham been outstanding this year.
The other factor, John, Jordan Reed back today, that dislocated shoulder. I haven't seen him out there a ton. He's got one catch. I think he's still in a lot of pain.
I played with that same injury, that AC joint. They can put some medicine in there. It feels good. You get your adrenaline. You go in at half. It doesn't feel so good anymore.
Yeah. Cousins back. Going to loft it to the end zone. Garcon! Touchdown! Gorgeous throw from Kirk Cousins for 15 yards.
Absolutely beautiful. That's been a much criticized play, the fade. People in Washington feel like they go to it a little too much down in this area. He wins early. He wins by that route. Looking like he's going to run a slant, little stutter. What touch by Kirk Cousins. He continues to make his case that he's the quarterback moving forward.
This is the only thing that went wrong. Slipped on the concrete or whatever that was. That was just a perfect pass, and he beat the coverage. And so all of a sudden, this Redskins offense, 14 unanswered if the extra point is good, changing the momentum of this game. Here's Hopkins trying to make it 21-13, and he does. This Wednesday, from the producer of Empire, follow 3 talented singers. They struggle to find fame, featuring Queen Latifah, Benjamin Bratt, and Lenny Kravitz. Star special premiere after the Empire fall finale, starting at 8 o'clock Eastern on Fox. That's quite the cast. Quite the cast here. It's Philadelphia with a divisional battle. Redskins now 14 unanswered points. John Lynch and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. So you think about the Eagles have lost 3 in a row. Let's see, they had a special teams touchdown return because of a penalty. They were down through an interception in the red zone. seeing some of these things, and you wonder that's why they've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, you are. But I tell you, this Washington team, you see why they could be a threat. They're so explosive. I mean, they can turn a game around in a hurry. Deshaun Jackson, Pierre Garçon, Jamison Crowder, Jordan Reed. It doesn't stop. They're so good offensively, and their defense really struggles. But, Kevin, you mentioned earlier, 10th in points. That's the stat that matters most.
I think the real question is, can they get off the field? If the Redskins can get off the field between now and January, they'll be in the playoffs and dangerous. Here's how it looks right now. You see they're right behind the Buccaneers for that final wild card spot. Of course, the Falcons are 7-5 as well. There's a lot of teams in the mix. And as I mentioned, the Lions kind of knocking on the door of a first-round bye. Seattle's in Green Bay later today. It was snowing there earlier. There's a lot that can change in the next couple of weeks.
That's why December football, there's nothing like it.
Pretty good. Remember, we told you Wendell Smallwood out of the game. Won't be coming back with the knee injury. So Nelson Aguilar returning kicks. With 7 seconds to go in the quarter. He's going to take it out. Aguilar stymied at the 15-yard line. Houston Bates down on the tackle with 1 second to go in this third quarter. So the Redskins have turned this game around with the 80-yard bomb to Deshaun Jackson, and then the drive and the beautiful touch pass to Pierre Garçon. And all of a sudden have an 8-point lead. Will be the last play of the third.
Big article down in Washington, D.C. this week on which one are they going to keep, Garçon or Deshaun Jackson. I think they're both free agents, and if I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm saying, how about both?
I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'll tell you what, both pretty good players. Sproles in the backfield. The Eagles start from their own 15. They'll run it. Sproles works for a 5-yard gain. That's the end of 3 from Philadelphia. The Redskins storming back with a couple of touchdowns. They're in front. Now can their defense hang on? 21-13 after 3. Deshaun Jackson, 3 catches, 102 yards, 1 touchdown today, as the contract rate just went up a notch in the offseason, John. And now let's see what the Eagles can do. One thing about this team, the ups and downs this year, they have not been a comeback team at all. And if you're looking for the future for Carson Wentz, can he bring a team back? He hasn't been able to do it this year. Down 8 on a 2nd down. They'll run it. Matthews. Run lanes, not much there. Give him a 1.5 yards, and a 3rd and short is coming up. But here again, 3rd down for Washington, where the Eagles are 7-13 on the day.
Momentum is such a crazy thing in this league. A little attrition, both Sua Cravens and Will Compton down, but spurred on by this offense and the explosive nature. This defense starting to tighten up a little bit. Joe Barry, awful pleased, and there's Will Compton right next to him, out for the game.
And another 3rd down. A little mess up on the exchange, and it cost Philadelphia. Ricky Jean-Francois swallowed up Ryan Matthews, and the Eagles will punt. Now, keep in mind, we told you about Dornbos being out. We saw Brent Selleck, the backup center, snapping on the field goal. Was a bad snap, so now he's got a snap on a punt. And we're told, we think, this is the first time Selleck has ever done this. Dornbos has never missed a game. Sorry.
You always practice a backup, so he's practiced a lot. In game, though, not so fast.
Well, that was a good one. That was a good one. And Jones gets off a big punt, but it's returnable for Crowder, who's got 1 touchdown on the good tackle. He had nowhere to go. C.J. Smith, we get a penalty, too, at the end of this play, right around the 31-yard line. So let's wait on that. 54-yard punt, 5-yard return.
Oh, gosh.
Now, Selleck got hurt.
Who's next?
That is crazy. So Dornbos injured his right wrist. Is that the same thing? Oh, he took a shot upstairs, John. I'm not going to speculate. He was holding his wrist. Now, this is a silly question. You're talking about they always practice a backup. Do they practice a backup to the backup?
I don't know. I mean, special teams coaches, they are thorough, and Dave Phipp, as good as there is in this league, I would imagine someone
During
has.
the return of the kick, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, receiving team number 22 with a blindside block. This penalty 15 yards and a first down.
DeShazer Everett is the guy on the block. And this is it right here. The shoulder right to the head. We'll check on Selleck. Redskins ball up 8 in the 4th. Redskins take over the football, up 21-13 here in the 4th quarter. Along with Pam Oliver and John Lynch, I'm Kevin Burkhardt, our entire Fox crew from Philadelphia. Producer Pete Macheska, director Artie Kempner, and away we go. Redskins up by 8. Has Crowder in motion. And they will throw it on first down to Crowder, out to the 20. Nolan Carroll brings him out of bounds. Kirk Cousins, by the way, hasn't missed a pass since the 1st quarter. He's getting hot.
He throws a lot of balls like that, Kevin, that are really difficult all the way across the field. What it makes you do, it makes you defend the entire field. You can't just say he's not throwing here. He's an impressive quarterback in my mind.
Blitz picked up, coming near. Sack! And it's intercepted! McKelvin! Touchdown! He's missed now.
He throws a lot of these balls. I was just praising him for it. Leotis McKelvin now thanking him for it. Great job by McKelvin. He was beat earlier by Deshaun Jackson. McKelvin has a tendency to watch quarterbacks. He watches the quarterback, and probably because they don't have a long snapper in addition to the score, they're going to go for 2.
Yeah, I mean, Selleck's still being worked on the sideline. I don't see anybody else, a third guy, practicing. So they're down by 2. It makes sense anyway, but I think they might have to regardless. So this to tie. Sproles, the backfield, as a running back. Wentz firing on the cross. Knocked away. Terrific play by Josh Norman. And the Redskins remain in front.
Josh Norman got paid big bucks, but he's paid big dividends in return for with his play. Another example right here. That's a really good throw by Wentz. Just went at the wrong guy, and Josh Norman. Excellent strip of the ball at the end.
Eagles have barely gone at him today. They've had success going the other side of the field. That time just tremendous by Norman. And so Washington remains in front. Second pick 6 of Leotis McKelvin's career. Let's look at that play one more time.
Great job by McKelvin. Ball just sails a little bit. As I said, McKelvin, it gets him in trouble a lot. He watches quarterbacks. He doesn't watch receivers. You're taught to watch receivers. He peeks out quarterbacks, and it helps him right there. It's hurt him a lot this season, but they aren't worried about that right now. McKelvin with the pick 6.
And so we've got a game, a 2-point game. It is with 13-11 to go. Just as we're giving Cousins all the credit. Hadn't missed a pass since the 1st quarter. Now that one missed right into the arms of McKelvin, who made a nice play. 2 points, no good. The lead down to 2. Redskins will get it back. And again, just keep in mind, long snapper John Dornbos out. Selleck, the backup, still being checked on the sideline. So we'll see if he come back in. Here's Chris Thompson. Thompson, nice cuts. Breaks another tackle. A good return. He's out to the 27. Who in the world is going to snap for the Philadelphia Eagles? Will it be Pam Oliver? Pam.
You know what? I think I can do it. I did ask the Philadelphia Eagles who would come in for Dornbos, who would then come in for Brent Selleck, and they have absolutely no idea at this point.
Oh my goodness.
So we will figure that out as the game progresses. Back to you guys.
Pam, you've been busy. Good job. Crowd's back in it. Why not? 2-point game. And an NFC East tilts. Eagles, Redskins. Kelly gets it, running up the middle and up to the 31. He's got 5.
Well, it was that personal foul when DeShazer Everett hit Brent Selleck. And I thought that's what it was. You don't hold your wrist when you get hit in the head unless you have a stinger. And it looks like definitely that's what they're working on Brent Selleck. And not only is he valuable to their offense, the backup snapper, that's a big deal.
That's a great point. See, they continue to work on Selleck. There's nobody else warming on that sideline. 2nd and 5, they'll run it. Kelly. Bo Allen eats him alive. No gain. So a 3rd down coming up for Washington with 12:06 to play.
I'll tell you one thing, I'm a huge Kirk Cousins fan. I'm a believer in him. The one deal, his mindset, he's a perfectionist. How does he respond to failure? Early in the year, it was a struggle. We'll see now if he's grown in that respect.
Third and 5. Cousins in trouble. Rolls away. Fires deep for Crowder. Makes the catch. Is he in? He is! What a catch by Jamison Crowder.
Outstanding throw. Even better catch. Left foot down, right foot down. That is so good by Jamison Crowder.
Wow, the precision from Cousins to Crowder, 29 yards. And now, here comes the second challenge for Philadelphia. We will look and look, obviously an important play. But this is the last challenge for Doug Peterson, so it's a big call to throw this flag. We'll look at it. We'll continue to look at it, and then we'll come back and look at it some more. Big call.
Philadelphia is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
This is close, John. Watch when he touches the ball, and then we'll scroll down and show you if that left foot was in first. We think the right foot was in. Mike Pereira doesn't think necessarily this is a catch, and Mike joins us now from L.A. Mike, what are you seeing?
Yeah, I think that the left toe is off the ground by the time he gets control. So the right foot, yes, in bounds, but then when the left foot comes down a second time, it's out of bounds. And so to me, this is an incomplete pass, and they're going to have to go back now since it was ruled a catch and figure out what the down and distance was to reset it up. But to me, I think you're dealing with an incomplete pass here.
Let's find out what New York thought about it. Close call.
After reviewing the play, it is an incomplete pass. It will be Washington's ball. 4th down and 5 to gain at the 30.5-yard line. Philadelphia will not be charged with the timeout.
That's why Mike Pereira is the best. Mike, you hit it. Thank you for that. As always, it was so close. And a big challenge for Doug Peterson. That's the last one he's got this game, but that obviously is huge because now it's 4th down. And now remember, Darren Sproles took one back for a touchdown earlier. It was called back because of a flag. He's returned 7 in his career. And so they're just getting everything right, make sure the ball is in the right spot, clock is right. And they're trying to make sure Brent Selleck is right. Because Pam Oliver, well, that doesn't look good. Pam Oliver told you they have no idea who's snapping next. And down by 2, you'd have to think a field goal could come into play here. But that's the story for maybe a little later. Dressway punts it. Good kick. Rolls up. Oh, he gets blasted. The ball is loose, and there's a flag. DeShazer Everett, and now there's a scrum breaking loose. And it's ugly. That was a high, hard shot on Sproles. And the Eagles standing up for their teammate.
See this in regular speed. It was so loud within the stadium. definitely contact to the head and neck area by DeShazer Everett. He is defenseless. The ball had not even arrived. Sproles definitely defenseless. And I got to tell you, I don't blame these Eagles. Remember, Everett already took out Brent Selleck. Now Darren Sproles down on the ground. And I don't blame those Eagles for going out and defending their teammate.
Now you see a lot of hits nowadays, John, when head and shoulders end up going up high on someone that it happens. That one was avoidable. And Sproles lays down as they tend to him. Everett's got 2 now shots to the head in this game. And obviously the concern here is for Darren Sproles.
Personal foul. Kicking team number 22. Interference with the opportunity to catch a kick. 15-yard penalty and first down.
So this is Everett, the gunner on this play. Sproles hadn't had an opportunity to catch it. He goes right in at the head. And fans booing here in Philadelphia. Let's bring in Mike Pereira from Los Angeles. Sproles is up. Good news there. Mike, on that play, what'd you see for us?
Yeah, I mean, look at this is clearly a defenseless player. He's listed in the book. A person trying to field a punt is defenseless, so you can't hit him in the head or neck area with your helmet, shoulder, forearm. A lot of people are talking about should he be ejected from the game. I don't think he should be. It's a mistimed thing. It's a football play, but clearly a foul. And you heard Tony Carini mention to get both teams to the bench. That's kind of to calm down people and also to give them time to take care of Sproles, which glad to hear he's back up on his feet, but it's clearly a foul for a hit on a defenseless player.
Well, Sproles, Mike, thanks.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate that insight from you. Sproles going back to the locker room. He's going to be checked out, obviously, after that one. And this crowd is energized. The Eagles have the ball down by 2, 11:27 to play. Wild game in the NFC East and a big one, especially for Washington. Here we go. After the penalty, they start from the 40 with Matthews. Trying to get around the right side. And Matthews now is the only healthy running back in Philadelphia, John, because Kenyon Barner is inactive. Smallwood got hurt. Sproles got hurt. And now more of a scrum after the play.
Well, we got a little NFC rivalry that just heated up. Jason Kelsey came and gave a little push to Bashaud Breeland afterwards. And it's going to get a little chippy. So right now in a close game, poise is the key. You see Kelsey saying, get off my guy. And Washington and their sideline responds. But both teams need to preach poise. You love sticking up for your teammates, but you got to be poised and smart.
2nd and 6. Wentz has time. Now here comes Kerrigan. Gets away. Wentz standing, looking. Now he's just going to run and dive forward. Boy, he waited and waited, but he couldn't find anyone.
I'll tell you one thing that this team has not learned how to do. We watch Aaron Rodgers. What happens when he moves around and extends? They find the open spot. Carson Wentz moves around and nobody comes back to him. No one works to the sidelines. They all kind of go dead. You got to make yourself an option. No one's doing it for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'll tell you one thing, Wentz is becoming pretty good at escaping, huh?
Well, and we go to Green Bay's practice. What do? They practice that all the time. You got to start doing that in Philly because this guy has the ability to extend.
Credit a sack on that one, and Mason Foster, because Wentz can pass the line. 3rd and 7. Back to throw, coming near side. First down. Zach Ertz has it, and he's down to the 42. Game break time. Let's check in with Kurt. Wow. I think the Vikings and Packers are celebrating that one right now. Long way to go, though. Minnesota just took the lead over Jacksonville by 2. Green Bay plays Seattle later. 1st and 10 Philadelphia, trailing by 2. 9:33 to go. Matthews swallowed up. Ricky Jean-Francois has made a couple of those plays in this half. Loss of 2.
You know, one thing you lose, Kevin, when you lose Brent Selleck, he's an excellent run blocker. And there's Trey Burton coming in. Ricky Jean-Francois just beats believe it was Matt Tobin Wisniewski, and Wisniewski in, filling in for Barber, who was filling in for Lane Johnson. It's just a vicious cycle for this Philadelphia offensive line.
Second down on the fake. Wentz stands in, gets thrown, ball's loose on the ground, picked up by Kelsey, and he advances for a yard and a half as Breeland and Ricky Jean-Francois came on in to converge on Wentz.
A really good job by Breeland. He runs right through the block of Ryan Matthews. Matthews needs to do a better job of that. Carson Wentz, you got to protect that football at that point. Breeland with an excellent play getting to the ball. Watch Matthews right in front of him. You got to keep your feet going and stay in front of him.
That was close. I thought Wentz was actually trying to get it to Matthews there, but that was risky. And now a 3rd down and 14 after the Washington sack. Blitz coming again. Wentz stands in, hit as he throws, complete. This is going to be a little short, I believe. The spot is critical. It's Burton on the catch. I think you have to go for it with no snapper. Let's see if he caught it.
It's a catch.
Yes,
Trey Burton really emerging as a nice option for these Philadelphia Eagles.
4th and 1, John. That's the initial measurement. I think Doug Peterson's asking for an actual measurement. Wentz got hit pretty good. They're going to bring out the chance. Tell you what, he is tough, John. I mean, he really stands in and gets hit and delivers throws.
He threw 60 times last week. I'd venture to say he was hit on about 20 of those. He never flinched. I love his toughness.
I know you like the play he made after the interception last week, too.
You don't love interceptions, but I guarantee you he endeared himself to his teammates. The respect level just went way up with his toughness, the way he chased after Vontaze Burfict. That showed me a lot.
So a 4th down and 1. They've got no long snapper. I can't see them trying a field goal, even though it would put them ahead. Remember, they're down 2 long snappers if you just turned us on. John Dorenbos, the Pro Bowler, and Brent Selleck, the backup. And now Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, probably practicing for the first time at a long snap.
How do you think his heart rate's doing right now?
Oh, my goodness. So it's an easy decision to go here because of that. That one didn't look so good. 4th down, quarterback sneak, and he's got it. Second effort by Carson Wentz. Who needs a kicker, John? Let's go down to Pam Oliver for more on this situation.
Well, Kevin, it definitely got chaotic down here with Brent Selleck. He is definitely suffering from a stinger. His return is questionable. I've seen no one practicing snapping the ball to either kicker. Back to you.
We just spotted Kendricks. Pam is down the other side. Yeah, but he just started, and he's probably never done it before. So here are the Eagles. 1st and 10, under 7 minutes to go. Down by 2. Run it to Matthews. We get a flag. .45 pre-snap penalties for Philadelphia, most in the NFL. Maybe adding to it now.
Full start. Offense number 61. 5-yard penalty remains. 1st down.
John, that's just a ton of pre-snap penalties. Why? It seems like they have so much trouble snapping the ball.
Yeah, you know, on the road, you got an excuse. They're at home. It's quiet. It seems like there's just not continuity. And sometimes I think their center, Jason Kelsey, he doesn't have a rhythmic snap count. Now, that's good for not letting the defense jump, but it's working against this team. Bottom line, you got to be better.
Yeah, 1st and 15. 4-man rush. Wentz over the middle, high, incomplete. He was looking for Burton again. He brings up 2nd down. There have been missed opportunities in this game for Philadelphia. Jordan Matthews couldn't get his foot in. That would have been 7. Next play was an interception in the end zone. So there goes one opportunity. Then you had this 72-yard punt return touchdown brought back because of a penalty. Then your snapper is out. So Brent Selleck's first snap is low. They botch a field goal. Doug Peterson about to explode.
That's 17 points, Kevin.
I mean, your
2-point game, they're down. That's 17 points that they've essentially given away by just not making the play, finishing the play.
The 2nd and 15. Blitz. They come near side screen. Aguilar racing through. Aguilar diving forward. Good efforts. He's going to be about 2 yards shy of a first down. Ertz and Turner had good blocks.
Well, here's why, Kevin, I like the moves that Doug Peterson is making of late. 2 games ago, he sat Nelson Aguilar. Watch the urgency that Nelson Aguilar is playing with. He's not going to just stop upon contact. He's going to run through tackles and fight for every inch. I think the message was sent loud and clear. He's responded. Good for Doug Peterson.
By the way, Trey Burton was out on that play. He practiced long snapping. Here's Matthews. And now another 4th down. Now what? Do you trust anyone to snap?
Now they're having tryouts on the Philly sideline.
They are. I think Burton might do it. Let's see. He just snapped it 3 times, and he might come on for a field goal. This is unbelievable.
Now he's putting his gloves back on as they decide to obviously go for it.
Look at this graphic.
This is crazy.
I mean, just crazy. And Doug Peterson said, I can't trust it. I got to go. 4th and 1 again. This would be a 40-yard field goal with no wind.
Second clock getting down there, the play clock.
He had no choice. Tried to change the play. Carson Wentz had to call a timeout there. Big 4th down coming up when we come back. This is really unbelievable. The Eagles have had tryouts for a long snapper because their top 2 are hurt. Now it's Trey Burton, and they decided during the timeout to try a field goal. Trey Burton snapped for 3 minutes, and now he's going to be snapping for a field goal to put the Eagles ahead. Incredible. 41-yard field goal attempt by Caleb Sturgis with Burton to snap. Donnie Jones, the punter, to hold. Snap is good. The kick is good. How about that?
Give Donnie Jones, the holder, a lot of credit. That was a high snap. He brought it down.
He sure did. But he got it there. And Donnie Jones put it home, and Sturgis did the rest. Wasn't pretty. Open tryouts in Philadelphia. Eagles in front. I've never seen a team on their 3rd long snapper in the same game until today. And what a save by Jones, the punter. Donnie Jones here.
He gets it down. Sturgis does a great job staying with his rhythm. And big kudos. Trey Burton, if they wind up winning this game, will have a game ball, not only for having 6 receptions, for volunteering to go long snap after there's no one else. What I love, now he puts on his gloves, he's going to go run down to cover a kickoff. Trey Burton doing it all for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, and by the way, put the Eagles in front. I mean, what a game. We had a couple old rivals playing for the 164th time. And Sturgis will kick it off. Now it's the Redskins' turn. Get the feeling this one isn't over. Here's Thompson. Makes a move across the 20. And that's where Kirk Cousins take over. For this Redskins team, down 1. So here's Burton now on the other side of it.
He put the gloves back on. He goes and he's at the point of attack. Throws the guy out of the way. He's down there, just missed. But you can't do it all, Trey Burton.
He's also got 6 catches for 49 yards.
We're playing Rocky music in Philly. It doesn't get any better than this, KB.
This is fun. Now let's see what Kirk Cousins and the Redskins have. Down by 1. A must-have game for them. Coming near side and incomplete. McKelvin, who had the pick 6 a little bit ago with the coverage on Garcon.
McKelvin's been great all day, with the exception of getting torched by Deshaun Jackson. But a credit to him. What do they always say about cornerbacks? You got to have a short memory. It hasn't scared him. He's still up playing bump and run against Garcon and finishing plays.
Tryouts continue for the long snapper on the Philadelphia sideline. Now Jay Good was trying it. Cousins looking, firing deep. He's got a man. Crowder makes the catch. And now the ball's on the ground. What's the ruling? Incomplete is the ruling. He could not bring it down. Rodney McLeod with a big hit.
Well, Rodney McLeod, his courage was called into question this week on a play down near the goal line. He shows a little courage right there, putting it on Jamison Crowder. You got to control it through the process of going to the ground. That ball's loose as he's going down and then comes out. I think it's a good call.
Now, this is interesting, John. Jay Gruden has challenged us because you think about the catch, and to your point, I don't know if that was a bang-bang play. He turned. Technically, Gruden's challenging that was a fumble that he recovered. And obviously, why not? Because
Washington is challenging the ruling on the field.
That's on a third down. So Gruden challenges. We'll see when we come back. Mike Pereira, help us out with this.
This is another one of the tough ones. We've had our share. The question's going to be, think of a three-point process. He has to get control, 2 feet, and the element of time. And in real time, does he do that? Because if he does, I think the right hand's on the ball. Then it's a catch and down by contact. I think it's a good challenge by Jay Gruden. However, we have seen the league, when it comes to the possibility of bang-bang, stay with the calls that are on the field. But I actually like this, personally, more as a catch and a down by contact.
Mike, well, they're going to come out here with Correnti with the call, so hang on to that thought. Let's see.
After review, the Washington receiver was able to control the ball for a number of steps before he was contacted and hit the ground. Therefore, completed pass. Washington's ball first down at the 44-yard line. Washington will not be charged with a timeout.
Mike, you are fantastic. Great job as always.
Stay hot, Mike.
Unbelievable.
You're on fire.
It's like Kyle Schwarber in the World Series. Guy doesn't miss. So Mike Pereira, boy, we've had some really difficult calls for the crew. And Mike and Dean Blandino and the boys in New York doing a fine job to get it right. So huge. That was a third down instead of a 3 and out. Now here comes Washington down a point. 1st and 10 in Philly territory at the 44. Cousins rolling, looking, tucking and running is Kirk Cousins now. And he's going to get down to the 38.
You know what I like right there, though? The hustle by that guy, Fletcher Cox. We put him on the players to watch because I think he's got more in him. He's shown that more today. This is a 320-pound man. He's being blocked. Look at that hustle. Look at that want to. He's playing like his buddy Brandon Graham's been playing. That's what you pay a guy $103 million for, because they're 320 pounds, they're impactful, and they want.
Running, Kelly gets through. He'll be short of a first by 2 yards. So it'll be a 3rd down and 2. Benny Logan, big old offensive tackle right there, and so another critical 3rd down.
Remember last time we were in this situation, it was the zone read that Kirk Cousins went to. Do they go there again?
Cousins, and we have no play. Timeout.
Timeout. Washington, they're first.
First timeout for the Redskins here to talk this over. This game has had some crazy swings. Redskins came back. They have 14 unanswered. They were up 8. Then Leotis McKelvin took one to the house. A pick 6 for him. So that certainly changed momentum. But then the Eagles were down by 2. They were on their 3rd long snapper, and somehow they were able to kick a field goal and take the lead. NFC East at its finest, John Lynch. This has been fun, but this is really now. Here are the Redskins. Are they a playoff team or not? We're going to find out in the next 4 minutes or so.
Yeah, right here. Their coach called for urgency. Now's a good time to have it. 3rd and 1. Your season on the line. Your playoff hopes on the line. This is great stuff.
Cousins. Blitz coming. Going to dump it off. Thompson incomplete. Jordan Hicks sniffed it out. And now a 4th down and 1. What would be a long field goal for Dustin Hopkins. This would be, what, 53 yards if they try it. And what's Jay Gruden thinking?
He's going to keep his offense out there. That was a tremendous job by Jordan Hicks. Watch him do your job. He does his job. That's his man. Go and get him. Outstanding by Jordan Hicks.
4th and 1. Play clock at 1. They're not going to get it off. He tried to call a timeout. Did they give it to him? They did. Woo, that was ultra close. And Washington uses their second timeout. So 2 timeouts in 2 plays. Lost track of the clock there, and we'll try it again.
Really interesting here, Kevin. 3 minutes left. Do you go for it? I think this is kind of an indictment on the defense. Do you have the faith on your defense to have the ability to get the ball back? If you don't, if you do punt, if you do go for the kick, interesting call here by Jay Gruden.
And they go empty backfield. Fourth down. They need a yard. Cousins near side. They get it. He fits it into a tight window to Garcon. And the Redskins keep on going.
Now this team's strength is their receiving corps. And they go to their strength in the biggest situation. Leotis McKelvin's been making those plays. Credit to Kirk Cousins for throwing a dart. And Pierre Garcon for almost boxing out like a basketball player right there. That's clutch stuff by Kirk Cousins and Pierre Garcon.
Interesting stuff, right? They have a running back that we've been talking about in the breath of Marshawn Lynch today, and they go empty backfield, but they keep moving. Down by 1. 2:16 to go. Here is Kelly on the run this time, and he's fighting forward down to the 25. So they're well within Dustin Hopkins' field goal range now. The Eagles with only 1 timeout left to stop the clock, and then they'll have this, a 2-minute warning. Well, it's going to come down to the wire in Philadelphia. Eagles 22, Redskins 21. Washington in field goal range. High drama in the NFC East. Welcome those who just joined us. Along with Pam Oliver, John Lynch, I'm Kevin Burkhardt in Philadelphia. Redskins with the ball, down by 1. 2nd down and 6 at the Philly 26. Eagles only have 1 timeout to go. They'll pitch it to Thompson. Gets outside. Thompson makes a cut. Look at the room. Touchdown! Redskins take the lead.
Wow, you don't think it's valuable having your all-pro left tackle back? Where do they go in a pinch? They go right behind him. He's going to get out front, and Chris Thompson, he says, just get behind me. Trent Williams, that's a big boy out there, gets the block on Jalen Mills. And Chris Thompson, what a play. Dialed up by Sean McVay, Jay Gruden, and Bill Callahan. This offensive staff got a lot of mind power to it. And boy, this has been a dogfight, but just a huge play right there.
People call for the Redskins to run it more, and they run it in a critical spot, and now they'll go for 2. Up by 5. This would make it a 7-point game. Don't forget, the ball's live on these plays. We've seen it returned a couple times this year. Cousins back to throw. Near side, incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Reed, who hasn't played much at all, especially in this second half, but it's incomplete. And so it's a 5-point lead with 1:53 to go. Eagles with 1 timeout. Well, what's Watts' touchdown in this block for Chris Thompson?
It's a tough play because you're expecting, you see Deshaun Jackson, he brings everyone the other way, and then a little counteraction out to Chris Thompson, and it puts the defense in a bind. And then big Trent Williams suspended. They missed him dearly. He's back, and that's what you can do with an all-pro at that position.
Fletcher Cox annoyed. Of course, the huge play was that challenge by Jay Gruden, that Crowder catch. It would have been a 3-and-out. But, John, here's the situation. You talk about growth for the young quarterback, and you've hashtagged a lot of different points what they have to do to get better next year and get him better. He's had opportunities to bring the team back, and he hasn't had one yet. So here's a golden opportunity for Carson Wentz right now to kind of see what he's got in these situations.
What a great opportunity. And I would tell you, Kevin, just the opportunity to be in this situation is invaluable for him. Look, I think we all know that the Eagles season's probably come and gone this year. Again, they're building so much for the future. I'm a big proponent that this guy's a stud. He's going to be great. Sooner or later, though, you got to go get that first come-from-behind victory. You know, we look at guys like Tom Brady who have 50. There was a first, and he's got to have his first.
What we had was a heck of a drive by Kirk Cousins and the Redskins to take the lead when they needed it most. And so they're up 5 with 1:53 to go. The Eagles will start on their own 25. 5th lead change of this wild game. Here is the playoff picture as it stands right now. The Lions just won. They beat the Bears. They've got 9 wins already, so they're breathing down the Seahawks' neck for a first-round bye. Big game for Atlanta in L.A. later. Same thing for the Buccaneers in New Orleans in that NFC South, and the Giants obviously with the Cowboys tonight. So the Redskins with a win can easily move up the ladder quite quickly here today if they can hold on. NFC is so tight right now. And so here we go. Carson Wentz down by 5. 4-man rush. Going to throw near side. Jordan Matthews has to catch. Short gain and he stays in bounds, so the clock's going to run. Quentin Dunbar on the stop. Again, only 1 timeout for Philadelphia.
You got plenty of time, but they need to show a little more urgency in between snaps, how quickly you get lined up.
A lot of time. Wentz over the middle. That's Matthews complete, falling forward to the 45. Minute 25 to go.
You got to stay aggressive if you're Joe Barry in this defense. Don't go into that shell just keeping the ball in front of you. You got to bring some pressure. You got to generate pressure on the young quarterback.
They do here. Here comes a blitz, but it's blocked up. Wentz firing complete. Burton, who's done it all today, down to the 40 with 1:06 to go. Eagles not using the timeout.
Trey Burton can play. This guy was a quarterback at the University of Florida some years ago. Now a third-year tight end really coming into his own.
54 seconds. Wentz stands in, pressure, got it around, tosses it and just probably throws it away. Ertz was in the vicinity, and that'll stop the clock with 47 seconds to go.
Joe Barry, the last 2 snaps, starting to bring some pressure. The problem these Eagles have, Kevin, in the future, when people bring pressure, you say you invite pressure because that means you got one-on-ones outside. Not so sure who's the guy that can run by someone on this, and that emboldens guys like Joe Barry to play with that pressure because you aren't scared of anyone.
This would be the area, too, where Sproles would be on the field. Remember, he went out hurt back to the locker room. Second and 10. Wentz inside, complete, and out of bounds. It's Jordan Matthews. A first down for Philadelphia. That will stop the clock with 42 seconds to go.
That's a big-time throw right there by Carson Wentz. A long way. Good job by Jordan Matthews pushing the route. Don't know why Toller playing so deep, though, on Jordan Matthews. Not a speed guy. Got to continue to stay aggressive. Aggressive doesn't mean just blitz. It means challenge people. Challenge people outside.
Need a touchdown. 1 timeout for Philadelphia. Near side again, incomplete. A little too far for Aguilar, and a second down.
Tighter coverage that time by Greg Toller. He learned his lesson. And when you contest throws, it makes it a lot tougher to complete them.
The Eagles can still go down the middle of the field. They've got a timeout left and 39 seconds to go. Reminder, Game 2, America's Game of the Week. Most of you will see Seattle at Green Bay. It was snowing earlier. That's a great one. So has been this one from Philadelphia. Redskins up by 5. Eagles trying to pull out the win. On second down, pressure. Wentz sees it, gets rid of it, incomplete. Off the fingertips of Ryan Matthews.
There's your point, Kevin. That's Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles was taken out with a hit that brought out a penalty. Ryan Matthews, he's not a third down back. That's usually Darren Sproles. With Sproles, that's likely a catch and maybe a lot more after it.
So you've got 35 seconds left, but you've got a 3rd and 10. You need a touchdown. A lot on the plate. You do have a timeout to use. And now Washington calls their final timeout. And so the Redskins will talk it over with 35 seconds to go. This has been some game. 5 lead changes. This second half, there has been all kinds of stuff. Brent Selleck, after John Dornbos, the Pro Bowl snapper, got hurt. Selleck came in, missed a field goal. Then the Redskins, Garcon with the touchdown. The pick 6, McKelvin, another. Eagles trying to come back here. They failed on the 2-point conversion. They were down 2. Then Chris Thompson on the pitch puts the Redskins up. They fail on the 2-point conversion. Missed in there too was an Eagles field goal with their 3rd long snapper of the game in Burton. It's been a lot happened from Philadelphia today, John.
It's been a lot of great stuff. I think Washington playing like their playoff lives are at stake, and Philly responding to the call from their coach for max effort. It's made for a very intriguing game.
Wentz at 301 yards on the day, but down by 5. Third down. 4-man rush. Stands in. Fires complete. First down. Inside the 15 are the Eagles with Ertz. And will they use their timeout here? Waiting for a signal. Looks like it. The Eagles use their final timeout with 26 seconds left. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 14.
Kevin, you fight in this league for these situations to get in 3rd and 10s. And they've done it all year. They do the hard part, but then they miss the layup, which is getting off the field on 3rd down. If you're Duke Iannaccio, sit at the sticks. You know that's where he's stopping. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for the Washington Redskins. You got to fix it, not only if you're going to get to the playoffs, if you're going to have any success in the playoffs.
There's no doubt. Meanwhile, Zach Ertz, after getting roasted in this town this week, has had a nice day. 10 catches, now 112 yards. And the Eagles down by 5 at the 14. No timeouts left. 26 seconds left. And a first down. Buckle your seatbelts. Wentz. Pressure up the middle. Rolls away. Just throws it up for the end zone. Incomplete. Aguilar was there. He had to get rid of it. The sack with no timeouts would have been a disaster. So 2nd down.
Trent Murphy doing a great job making Wentz flush. Trent Murphy going to come in on a stunt. He's not picked up. That makes Carson Wentz leave the pocket, and Ryan Kerrigan right there to rush the throw. That's good team rush right there.
21 seconds to go. Need a touchdown. Wentz. Pressure coming. Drilled. Ball is loose. It's on the ground. Picked up. Washington. Murphy. The Redskins are going to win it. Ryan Kerrigan did the work, and Murphy finished it off.
Well, they show pressure and then they bluff out, but Ryan Kerrigan just goes right by the backup to the backup to the backup right tackle Matt Tobin, and eventually the injuries for the Philadelphia Eagles come back to bite them. I think a valiant effort for the Philadelphia Eagles. Wentz, you got to get rid of the ball, but your right tackle's got to block Ryan Kerrigan as well.
Your 4th right tackle of the year, and Kerrigan burned him for the strip sack. Well, Wentz led a beautiful drive, and it ended on the sack. And John, you were begging for the Redskins to get off the field. It took a while, but they finally did. And their playoff hopes are well alive because of it. What a game here in Philadelphia today. Heartbreak, though, for those Eagles and Doug Peterson, as they're about to lose their 4th in a row. 12 seconds left. Washington will take a knee. That'll do it. Wild game in the NFC East. The 164th meeting between these two had a little bit of everything. Had some bad feelings. 5 lead changes. And Carson Wentz tried to pull it out in the end, but it was Ryan Kerrigan with a strip sack to end it. And Washington with the win may leap back into the playoff picture depending on what happens later today. They're now 7-5-1. The Eagles fall to 5-8 with their 4th straight loss. We talked about Wentz leading at the end, but there's Kirk Cousins, John, and he led this team on a drive. Ended up being the go-ahead drive.
Yeah, offensively, they're as good as there is in this league. They're starting to really grow that running game around Rob Kelly and that offensive line. And then we know about the weapons outside that Cousins has at his disposal.
The question is, can they get enough defense? They did at the end today. The Redskins win it dramatically in Philadelphia. For Pam Oliver, John Lynch, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Thanks for watching. Back to Los Angeles. Kurt Menefee and the guys have more. Kurt.